This young man thinks his singing voice is terrible, so he enrolled at a prestigious music academy to hone his craft. Qingyi, the school's most popular girl, was assigned to guide the new transfer student. When they reached a century-old music hall, she told Yi Xiangluan this hall had stood for 100 years, but sadly it's slated for demolition after they graduate. So she encouraged Yi Xiangluan to practice piano there whenever possible. Out of nowhere, a crisp melody began to linger in the air. It felt as though the music transcended time and space. Destiny orchestrated Yi Xiangluan's encounter with the melody. Guided by the sound, he found himself in an aged piano room. Yet, to his surprise, the piano stood unattended. The only presence was a peculiar girl tidying the bookshelf. The gentle glow accentuated the faint blush on her cheeks. This also made the naive boy feel bashful. But to Yi Xiangluan's delight during class, he discovered the girl turned out to be in his class. This stirred some emotions in Yi Xiangluan's heart. To his surprise, the teacher didn't scold her for being late, but instead told Yi Xiangluan to pay attention. Yet he kept stealing glances at her. Her smile, to him, was more radiant than a field in full bloom. As soon as class dismissed, Yi Xiangluan bolted after her without hesitation. But at the next corner, she disappeared without a trace. Yi Xiangluan froze, utterly adrift in the sudden silence. When he finally caught up, he asked about the melody they'd played earlier. That was stunning. What's the name of the piece? She tiptoed closer, her whisper brushing his ear. Whispered to him that it was a secret not to be shared. Her quirky charm had him completely captivated. He was so taken aback that it took him a moment to ask for her name. But it was the campus beauty Qingyi who responded instead. The girl simply gave him a subtle wave, as if it went completely unnoticed. Yet again, Yi Xiangluan found himself caught by the teacher. The teacher is extremely stern and enforces a strict ban on school romances. Yi Xiangluan promptly owned up to his mistake and made a quick exit. Just then, the heavens opened up with a downpour. The downpour gave Yi Xiangluan the perfect chance to rush after the girl and share shelter. What makes it magical isn't the rain itself, but sharing this shelter with you under the eaves. With perfect justification, Yi Xiangluan ended up giving her a ride home. The flower fields after the rain are filled with a refreshing and delicate scent. It also adds a splash of color to their budding romance. This meeting allowed them to get to know each other well. Lu Xiaoyu, a name that's simple yet beautiful to the ear, much like the flower-filled path they had just strolled along. But the next day, during morning assembly at school, Yi Xiangluan searched everywhere but couldn't find Lu Xiaoyu. He kept looking back, scanning the crowd. Qingyi was thrilled, mistaking his search as meant for her. What's weirder, Lu Xiaoyu was missing the entire morning. Left with no choice, Yi Xiangluan played the piano gloomily in the old music room. Out of nowhere, two students rushed in and ducked into the closet. Right on their heels, a gym teacher showed up, demanding if Yi Xiangluan had spotted the two fugitives. Later, he chose not to report those two students. Once outside, the brothers were deeply impressed by him. They joked about being school veterans, having been held back for years. And so, Yi Xiangluan ended up befriending them by chance. Lu Xiaoyu didn't show up until the afternoon. She explained she'd skipped class to practice the piano. This raised some suspicions in Yi Xiangluan's mind. She asks if he misses her. He says yes, he really misses her music. The girl responds, "But I was missing you." The sunlight gently touches one side of Lu Xiaoyu's face. But it's Yi Xiangluan's heart that's truly warmed. He discovers he's fallen in love with her. They share a romantic moment by the sea, caressed by the ocean breeze, basking in the golden glow of sunset dancing on the ocean waves. Even savoring ice cream could send her into raptures. Next morning, drizzling rain accompanied her journey from piano studio to classroom, counting each step all the way to the classroom's rear entrance. Her heart fluttered with anticipation to glimpse Yi Xiangluan the moment she arrived. Yet the first face that greeted her eyes was none other than Qingyi. Little did she know, Yi Xiangluan was locked in a piano duel at the auditorium. He was facing the top-ranked student in the whole grade. Everyone assumed Yi Xiangluan had lost his mind. Yet the outcome left everyone stunned. To everyone's surprise, the transfer student effortlessly bested the top-ranked student. This victory earned Yi Xiangluan a swan-themed piano score. However, unlike others, Xiaoyu didn't shower him with praise. Instead, she made an unexpected appearance the following day. She complimented his piano performance from yesterday, but she couldn't understand why he wanted to engage in a piano duel. Yi Xiangluan mimicked her way of speaking. "It's our little secret." This brought them even closer. Since they were both skilled at piano, They frequently practiced together in the piano room, a piano duet that demands perfect harmony between two players. They performed it with effortless ease, but that day, their strict homeroom teacher who forbids early dating showed up. The teacher insisted she'd clearly heard a piano duet, but found only him there alone. He explained he must have been playing so fast that it sounded like two people playing. Out of the blue, the homeroom teacher turned her gaze to the nearby cabinet. This set Yi Xiangluan into a state of nervous agitation. The teacher sensed something suspicious was going on inside. Upon opening the cabinet, she told them to act like she never saw anything, then instructed him to focus on his piano practice. Yi Xiangluan was completely taken aback. To his astonishment, the notoriously strict teacher simply let it slide. Xiao Yu bragged with a smug look. "It's all because I'm the teacher's pet with top grades that they cut me so much slack." As the words hung in the air, their gaze simultaneously drifted to the wall, where hung a painting of Chopin, the virtuoso pianist, with his wife. Though they shared a decade together, their love story ended in parting. Xiao Yu thought even 10 years together was a blessing. Should already feel content. Are truly precious memories. That day after school, Qingyi approached Yi Xiangluan, asked him to give her a ride home on his bicycle. This left Yi Xiangluan momentarily at a loss. Ultimately, he politely declined, because giving Xiao Yu rides home had become his routine. Qingyi had no choice but to leave, but Xiao Yu still managed to eavesdrop. To reassure Xiao Yu that she was the one, Yi Xiangluan skipped class with her and went off campus. They went to his favorite record store. He played her his favorite tune. By coincidence, Tears of a Lover happened to be her favorite too. This wordless chemistry was written in the stars. A sudden drizzle brushed against Xiangluan's face like a gentle kiss. Laughing and teasing each other, they made their way up to the rooftop. Yet even the brief climb left Xiao Yu breathless and drained. She had to use her inhaler just to catch her breath. This revealed Xiao Yu's long-hidden struggle with asthma. Vigorous activities or strong emotions could trigger an attack. They weren't even allowed to hold hands or share a kiss. This left Yi Xiangluan with a tinge of disappointment. But what weighed on him more was a sense of guilt. Xiao Yu's gaze was tinged with hesitation. She hesitated before saying she had another peculiar secret to share. She'd counted exactly 108 steps between the piano room and the classroom. Yi Xiangluan found this secret utterly mundane. Nevertheless, he presented Xiao Yu with a gift. The swan sheet music he had won from the top competitor. Yi Xiangluan was aware that Xiao Yu had been longing for this. However, it was so exceptionally rare that only the champion was awarded it, which was precisely why he gave his all in the duel against the seniors. He remarked, "You don't seem to have many friends." To which she responded, "Guess I'm just not very likable." He was utterly unconvinced. Out of the blue, she asked him, "Do you like me?" The unexpected question caught Yi Xiangluan completely off guard. Like a soul-stricken child, equal parts pitiable and amusing. Then Xiao Yu blurted out, "I like you." The beginning of a beautiful romance. A serene declaration of love. A tender step closer. A hidden rooftop sanctuary. A vow as delicate as dandelion fluff. Lu Xiaoyu learned that the old piano room was slated for demolition after graduation. At last, she agreed to teach him the melody from their first meeting, though she mysteriously hinted to Yi Xiangluan, "Don't rush through this piece in the old piano room." Though odd, he didn't give it much thought. Xiangluan made Xiaoyu another promise. He'd play her an original composition at graduation. Later, during school events, they became inseparable companions. They'd even go support their two troublemaker pals. Those two buddies are total lady magnets. Being a newbie, Yi Xiangluan sought their dating tips, seeking advice on fashion choices and gift ideas. When gifts came up, his friend tipped him off about a great spot. By chance, Yi Xiangluan learned apples might help with asthma. From then on, he'd bring Xiao Yu an apple daily during class. Yet day after day, Xiao Yu was nowhere to be seen. He had saved up 15 apples but never managed to give them to anyone. And Xiao Yu would always show up just when he was feeling most down. She would ask him, "If I'm not at school, would you fall for someone else?" Yi Xiangluan assured her he wouldn't fall for anyone else. Even though Xiao Yu would pop up out of nowhere, he still treasured every moment they shared. In class, he scribbled a note and passed it to her. They made plans to meet in the piano room at 7 in the evening. Yi Xiangluan showed up at the piano room well ahead of time. He closed his eyes, waiting for the arrival of a kiss. To his surprise, it was Qingyi who kissed him. Yi Xiangluan, horrified, scrambled to get away. Meanwhile, the janitor could be heard calling out for Xiao Yu. Yi Xiangluan had a bad premonition. But when he ran out, there was no sign of Xiaoyu. The next day, he rushed to Xiaoyu's house. But Xiaoyu's mother was acting strangely and was hard to read. She said her daughter had an asthma attack and needed to leave school to recuperate. She refused to let Yi Xiangluan see her, no matter what. Yi Xiangluan had no choice but to wait quietly. I'm looking forward to seeing Xiaoyu at the commencement. For months on end, Xiaoyu was absent from school day after day. Little by little, Yi Xiangluan felt like he was going back to his old self. After Qingyi's persistent pleading, he finally gave in and let her ride on his bike. But it just wasn't the same as when Xiaoyu was with him. He still frequented the piano room to play, as was his habit. This special place holds their cherished private memories. They'd frequent CD shops to hear that special song they both adored. It felt like their shared history kept replaying before them. Even the breeze and dappled sunlight carried whispers of their yearning. Before long, the school's commencement unfolded right on cue. Yi Xiangluan took the stage to perform as the honor student representative. Qingyi presented him with a lucky charm bracelet for good fortune. Yet Yi Xiangluan couldn't bring himself to decline. In a trance, he robotically took the stage and performed. This original piece, composed solely for Xiaoyu, a tidal wave of emotion appeared to engulf the whole hall. But only Yi Xiangluan was submerged in its depths. Then, a faint ripple disturbed the surface. A familiar silhouette materialized in the doorway. Tears shimmering in the eyes sparkled like fleeting stardust. Overcome by intuition, Jay Chou bolted from the stage recklessly. He reached Rain and they clung to each other in a desperate hug. Their embrace felt like a heartbreaking swan song. Just then, his teacher father came running after them. Baffled by Jay's sudden dash, the father stood confused about his son's actions. Eventually, he led his son back to the graduation ceremony. He gave the friendship bracelet back to Qingyi. However, when he turned around to search for Xiaoyu once more, he realized Xiaoyu had already disappeared. He inquired the two brothers who were passing by if they'd noticed the girl he frequently strolled with, the one who danced with him during the New Year's gala. They called him a lunatic. Didn't he realize that the whole time, he was the only one dancing solo? Yi Xiangluan was suddenly rooted to the spot. His mind was racing, as if 4 seasons had flashed by in an instant. How come no one noticed Lu Xiaoyu's constant absences? Why did Lu Xiaoyu never talk to anyone else? Why did Qingyi always misinterpret his talks with Xiaoyu? Why does the homeroom teacher strictly forbid puppy love, yet ignores them completely in the piano room? Yi Xiangluan keeps pondering these memories. Could Xiaoyu truly not exist in his world at all? These thoughts leave him dazed and confused. He collapses onto the desk and drifts off to sleep. Then suddenly, something eerie occurs. Mysterious handwriting began appearing on the bare desktop. Stroke by stroke, the phantom writing formed Xiao Yu's message. It's me, Xiao Yu. I love you, do you love me too? Yi Xiangluan didn't even question this supernatural phenomenon. With Xiao Yu missing, he dreaded this miraculous dialogue might vanish any moment. Frantically, he scribbled his reply with whiteout, etching a love heart onto the wooden surface. However, after completing the artwork, there was no reply whatsoever. Yi Xiangluan frantically searched for Xiaoyu's home. This time, Xiaoyu's mother didn't turn him away. Yet upon entering Xiaoyu's room, he found the place was covered in dust everywhere. Every piece of furniture looked straight out of the 1990s. The music box was playing the tune he loved most. Xiaoyu's mother recalled that one day her daughter confided in her. She had met someone who shared his passion for this song. Yi Xiangluan immediately recognized the Swan musical score, the very same one he had gifted to Xiaoyu, containing his own portrait tucked inside. Xiaoyu's mother stared at the portrait in astonishment, muttering incessantly under her breath, "Xiaoyu, can I really trust you?" To my shock, Xiaoyu had died 20 years earlier. Xiaoyu's mother then produced a photograph. The photo showed Xiaoyu with her teacher during middle school. Shockingly, her teacher turned out to be her own father. The long-buried secret finally came to light. Lu Xiaoyu had been my father's student 2 decades earlier. Her father remembered she was a top student. She was a virtuoso pianist, though frail and frequently ill. On top of that, she had asthma. Then one day, she confided a secret to him. She had discovered a music score in the piano room. It contained 4 bizarre rules. All you had to do was play the score in that piano room. Can traverse time and space, but only the first person she encounters can perceive her presence during the time leap. That person was none other than Yi Xiangluan. As fate would have it, she fell head over heels for Yi Xiangluan at first sight. Yet not all her journeys through time went without a hitch. Lu Xiaoyu had counted precisely 108 steps from the music room to the classroom. Back then, she had to walk across with her eyes shut. Also that the first sight upon opening her eyes would be Yi Xiangluan. Yet at times, it turned out to be another. Thus, Yi Xiangluan frequently missed seeing Lu Xiaoyu. On that day, Xiaoyu completely missed Yi Xiangluan's message. Rather, her classmates mistakenly delivered it to Qingyi. Through a series of mishaps, Qingyi wound up kissing him. Xiaoyu witnessed this scene, assuming Yi Xiangluan had fallen for someone else during their time apart. Feeling utterly betrayed, she resolved never to time travel again. She even confided this secret to Mr. Yi. Back then, Yi Xiangluan wasn't even born. The secret musical score is now in Mr. Ye's possession. However, the teacher had sworn to keep her secret. But in truth, they believed Xiaoyu was seeing things. She informed her mother that Xiaoyu was ill. She even requested the class monitor to look after Xiaoyu. However, the class monitor turned it into a laughing matter. All the students believed Xiaoyu had lost her mind. A barrage of mockery and insults came her way. Did she really travel 20 years into the future only to end up with a baby? Or how about performing a time travel act for the party? She simply brushed off such treatment from outsiders. Yet even her own mother refused to believe her. She spent her days drowning in tears. To appease her mother, Xiaoyu reluctantly began taking medication. She withdrew from school, holed up at home with no desire to go out. These months marked her time travel hiatus. That day, Mr. Yi came in person to visit, asking Lu Xiaoyu to join them for graduation photos. Then she suddenly recalled her promise to Yi Xiangluan, that he'd perform an original song for her at the ceremony. After quickly posing for the pictures, she went back through the old piano room to 20 years later to see for herself, and found that Yi Xiangluan had really written a song just for her. But when saying goodbye, she noticed something on his hand. He was wearing the bracelet from Qingyi. Suddenly, all her genuine feelings felt like betrayal. Devastated, Xiaoyu returned to her original timeline. Overwhelmed by emotions, she had an asthma attack but had left her inhaler at home. In her final moments, she left a heart-wrenching final love letter on the desk. And her life ended here as well. The conversation spanning 2 decades was left unfinished. After his father told him all this, Yi Xiangluan was already in tears, unable to speak. He sped off on his bicycle towards the music building. Hidden within the secret piano score was a crucial clue. As the journey comes to a close, the path home lies within the swift-flowing melody. Mr. Yi discovered the musical manuscript Little Yu had left in his care, and was astonished to find these words inscribed on one page. Xiangluan, there's something I must confess, my heart belongs to you. In that moment, everything became clear to Mr. Yi. Little Yu's strange experience all those years ago had been real after all. A student from 20 years ago and his son in the present day fell in love. In a frantic rush, he tried to prevent his son from returning, and by sheer coincidence, as fate would have it, tonight was the scheduled demolition of the music building. Yi Xiangluan slipped past the construction team and made his way inside. Unbeknownst to them, the demolition crew started their work. Simultaneously, Yi Xiangluan started playing the piano at breakneck speed. His manic playing sped him up several times faster than his normal pace. The lightning-fast musical notes sliced through his fingers like razor-sharp knives. As time and space fractured, countless memories came flooding back like scenes from a film. Battered and bruised after 108 painful steps, Yi Xiangluan finally reached the classroom. Yet the mysterious piano score held one crucial rule. The quicker the playing tempo, the further through time one could travel, which meant Lu Xiaoyu hadn't yet stumbled upon the magical sheet music. And the young man standing before her was still a stranger called Yi Xiangluan. Yet that smile still captures hearts instantly. The destruction of the piano room shattered the temporal cycle. Yi Xiangluan remained there to keep her company. In 1979, Lu Xiaoyu graduated successfully. As for their ultimate secret, was forever preserved in that graduation photograph. This film was written, directed by and starring the male protagonist over a decade ago. It's titled The Untold Secret. Its groundbreaking concept was too advanced to be appreciated when it first came out. Yet years later, it's gaining a cult following and being rediscovered. Though understated, it leaves an indelible mark on our memories. Maybe the meaning of youth only reveals itself with time. Only the first person you meet after time traveling can perceive your presence. This ingenious plot device showcases the screenwriter's brilliance. Only upon rewatching did I notice all the clever foreshadowing that was subtly woven in. Just to wake up and see Yi Xiangluan's face, That's when she meticulously measured every step between the piano room and classroom. Lu Xiaoyu's unspoken secret, lingering on her lips. Not words of love, but those 108 steps taken to reach you. Traveling to the future just to see you again. Journeying back through time to find you once more. Cinema is the art that echoes in our souls. Here's Amber's personal recommendation for you. To truly live another life, you must experience the original masterpiece. Catch you in our next film breakdown.